turn to Vermont Senator, Independent Senator Bernie Sanders. Senator, if it takes the ridiculous to get the attention of the American people, it is a good thing. But it is a ridiculous system that we have right now when it comes to financing campaigns, and I think that that is a very telling piece of videotape, the president speaking, and, of course, Sam Alito, the justice, shaking his head against it. It's pretty telling right now. How do we fix this? What's the impact of this?
Well, I tell you, Ed, it's not just ridiculous. It is very, very dangerous. And the constitutional amendment that I've offered to overturn Citizens United is called Saving American Democracy. And I think I'm not overstating the case. We are moving in a direction in which corporations not only will be able to spend as much money as they want, like they can today in terms of ads, radio and television ads, but you're looking at the day when corporations will be able to provide as much money as they want to individual candidates. So you're looking at a situation where the political process, like every other commodity in America, is going to be owned and controlled by the wealthiest and most powerful people in this country, and that to a significant degree is the loss of American democracy, as many of us understand that to be.
How do the American people combat this in the election season? I mean, you can social network, you can boots on the ground, you can get the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker to give $10, $5, whatever. But this really opens the floodgates for corporations to own the White House and the government. Or is that an overstatement?
No, that is absolutely not an overstatement. And here's what I think we can do. I think there are some pieces of legislation that we should be voting on in the Senate and the House that could, to some degree, diminish the horrendous impact of Citizens United. For example, if I put an ad on television as a candidate, I have got to say I approve this piece of legislation, this advertisement. If a CEO of a large corporation is paying for an ad, that CEO should also be on TV saying he or she approves that ad. If that is the case, trust me, these guys will not be running that many ads. Second of all, we've got to get foreign money. Right now, you could have a company significantly owned by Chinese interests putting TV ads on for or against a candidate for the United States Senate or the House of Representatives. Does anybody think that makes sense? So there are short-term approaches that we can utilize in order to diminish Citizens United. Long-term, in my view, we need to pass a constitutional amendment which overturns this absurd Supreme Court decision that says a corporation is a person. Interestingly, Ed, I was pleased to see that John McCain, whom I do not usually agree with, regarded Citizens United, just stated the other day that Citizens United was one of the worst decisions he has ever seen. I think he's right.
Well, I was going to ask you, is there any momentum building on the other side of the aisle? Are there any Republicans out there that see how damaging this is and taking the voice away from the little guy in this country? I mean, that's what made America great, is that we had voices heard from all sides and from all parts of society. And now they're being squashed. And now, of course, you've got Newt Gingrich squawking about it during this campaign. I mean, it would seem to me that somebody would see the light, even on the Republican side.
Well, maybe McCain has opened that door. He was very strong in his statement, calling it one of the worst decisions he has ever seen. And I'll tell you something. In my view, I think it is not just progressives or Democrats who regard this Supreme Court decision as absurd and dangerous. I think you have people all across this political spectrum. And how many people do you know who think that ExxonMobil is a person entitled to First Amendment constitutional rights in the political process?
Exactly. And if Colbert and Stewart can help people get people's attention on the seriousness of this, I'm all for it, because it could damage this country.